Some people love SeaWorld, while others hate it. Did you know Brazil once had orca shows? Yes, it did. In the 1980s here in São Paulo, there was an amusement park right here in the capital called Playcenter. It was wonderful, guys. I loved it. It was the first amusement park I ever went to and the first one I ever knew in my life. So when I got there, it was a shock to me. It felt like I was in Wonderland. Even Michael Jackson visited that park when he came to São Paulo. It was a park that was literally very successful in the 90s, but it ended up closing in 2012 after several problems and bankruptcy. Cacau Show's owner recently acquired the brand. Who, by the way, guys, is also building a park here in São Paulo that's supposed to exceed all Brazilians' expectations. At least that's what he says, right? That's because I've already followed this park. I've seen a lot of launches, they held a launch event, and I followed it. They're also promoting several attractions, and it's going to be a Disney-style park. In fact, the same engineers from Disney are coming here to build 2 roller coasters for this park, but that's a topic for another video. Focus. Playcenter opened in 1973 in São Paulo, and was then among Latin America's largest parks. By the end of 1984, they decided to bring 2 orcas from Iceland to Brazil so they could launch the Orca show. These orcas were a pair, Samoa and Nandu, and believe it or not, they were taken from the wild. In Iceland, yes, they weren't orcas born in captivity. At that time in Iceland, it was common to do that, even with Samoa and Nandu. They came from the same group that captured Tilikum, that orca known as the killer whale, because she has already killed several people. Tilikum at the time went to Canada. She was sent there for an attraction in Canada, and that's where her story began. After that, she went to SeaWorld, while Samoa and Nandu traveled to São Paulo so they could arrive here. They traveled inside a cargo plane, fully adapted for the animals. It had a giant water tank inside the plane, and it had a whole mechanism there, because the water had to be kept at 17 degrees. A team of veterinarians also joined the flight. Their arrival in São Paulo was meant to be very low-key due to all the secrecy. But at the time, for some reason, the news leaked and there were a lot of people at Viracopos Airport, where the orcas would arrive, waiting to see. They then went to Playcenter and stayed in a place there that was designed and built very quickly. They trained there for months until the Orca show began at Playcenter. The 2 orcas lived in a tank with over 2 million liters of water. But look, don't think it's 2 million liters of water, guys. The orcas at SeaWorld today live in a tank that holds more than 30 million liters of water. And there are people who complain, okay? Some say the space is limited for them and that they don't deserve this. Now, can you imagine? They used to live in a tank that had 2 million liters of water, and that was clearly a very restricted and very limited tank. Wild orcas can travel up to 160 kilometers a day, so you can imagine, right? I don't think it's pleasant for her to keep going back and forth. I'm sure those orcas had some very stressful years there. Yes, that's what you heard. The orcas stayed at the Playcenter for a few years. Nandu lived like that until March 2nd, 1988. Yes, guys, on that day, he was found dead in the morning. The caretaker said at the time that he was found dead in the morning. Why? The tank was very close to the audience, and when people went to watch the shows, they would throw things, right? Yes, there was a big sign saying not to throw anything. Even so, they threw things like plastics and food. The orcas were very curious, so they ate everything people tossed in. Because of this, Nandu developed a stomach complication and died. But Samoa stayed there. After that, they put her together with some dolphins and continued the show. And a year later, in 1989, she was sold to the famous SeaWorld. She moved to Ohio, United States, where she performed with other orcas and later mated with a male named Kotar. And while she was pregnant, she contracted an infection, which caused her to have, a premature pregnancy. And when she went into labor, it wasn't time yet, so she died, and her baby did too. That was Brazil's only SeaWorld-style attraction, and it was very profitable for Playcenter because it drew large crowds. People from São Paulo and others who traveled just to see the Orca show attended. I hope Brazil never has such attractions again, and that they end worldwide. I'm against it and think there are no more here, especially because the laws are changing and evolving more and more for animal rights, even though there are still circuses in Brazil that work with animals. Did you know that, guys? Not all states have laws that prohibit wild animals from working in circuses. There are states in Brazil that still don't prohibit it, and there are smaller circuses. And they're kind of clandestine, right? That's how they operate. But I believe that the main circuses, the traditional family circuses here in Brazil, no longer work with animals. And I hope that there will come a time when all the states pass a law, right? That Brazil passes a law, a national law that prohibits it. Regardless of this whole story, guys, I've always loved Playcenter. Playcenter was an amazing park for me. I have a lot of memories in that place, and every year I was there with my school. Not just at Playcenter, but also at Hopi Hari, which, is still very much alive to this day. I go to Hopi Hari almost every year. That's because I love, the Terror Nights. If you know me from the internet, I talk a lot about horror, so I love things with that theme. I attend every related event in Brazil, and we have a partnership. Hopi Hari invites me each time. Did you like this video? Then leave your like here, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bells. That way, every time I post a new video, you'll be notified by YouTube and you'll be one of the first. I love this competition you have in the comments. First, second, third. It's really cool because it shows that you always want to be the first. So, turn on the notification bell and share it with everyone you know. Everyone can watch this video since it's another on the channel. See you next time. Thanks for staying until the end. Big hug. I'm out.